My name's John Martin, Martin Fish Company here in Ocean City, Maryland. I was born into the industry. My grandfather started here back in the early 1900s, and it's been a family business ever since. When I was 5, my dad used to take me out on the boat and pretty much chain me to the side so I wouldn't fall overboard. But I just grew up learning how to fish, learning how to surf clam first, and then got into the fishing side of it, and just kind of part of what you did in this family. Let's see, the amount of fishermen that work out of West Ocean City is probably about 30, 35 if you count some crews. It's changed in that it's a lot less fishermen and boats because of the regulation process, and it's come down to quotas, and so you work with your quota the best you can with the least amount of it's like any business, it's got to be economical. Boats are looking for the drag, they're looking for fluke, scup, black sea bass. The smaller boats that are gill netters, they're looking more for the croakers, the spiny dogfish, smooth dogfish, and a little bit of spot. When I was younger, there was boats unloading every day because there was no such thing as a regulation. We kind of self-regulated ourselves for conservation purposes, but there was no regulation. So every day there was boats coming in. As I've grown older, more regulations come on board. We're seeing less come to the dock in pounds, prices going up higher, and cost of doing the business going up higher too. So that's the biggest thing, is less fish coming across the dock because of regulations. The couple boats that work out of Ocean City in the lobster fishery have anywhere from 300 to 400 pots depending on their license, and it's also an area that they can fish out of, either offshore or inshore, and they'll bring anywhere from, if it's a good week, they could have in the fall they can be 1,000, 2,000 pounds of lobster. And in the spring and the summer, it's a little slower, so they might be 500,000 pounds. The market for seafood has changed in that people are a little bit more aware of where their fish is coming from, and they like to know where it's coming from, and they also want to know how fresh it is. They're getting a little bit more educated, and we like to educate them so that they know that what we have here is the best you're going to get, because it's the closest to the actual man catching the fish. And fishing's, they say it's the last hunting grounds, because that is what you actually do. Everything else on land, you're grazing or you're growing or you're farming it, whereas fishing, it's like wild, so you're chasing it down, and people like to know how that works.